Aaron Rodgers appeared on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, speaking for the first time since the season ended. He said his future is still up in the air as the Steelers have not made any offers. He also praised Mike McCarthy, his former coach and new Steelers head coach, and says he has kept in touch with GM Omar Khan. Here is Aaron Rodgers.
There hasn't been any progressive conversations. I love Mike, and Mike and I have kept in contact over the years. I've had conversations with Omar. I really, I think Omar, enjoyed having me there. I think the guys, had a positive response, to our time together. But again, there hasn't been any deadline set on me. There hasn't been any contract, floated in front of me for me to well, we're giving you till, March the 8th to make a decision on this contract. There's been nothing to that respect.
J-Mac and Kmart are back with us here on First Take. And so let's fast forward. Let's make decisions for the Steelers. What is better for Pittsburgh? Is it bringing back Aaron Rodgers or more maybe dabbling in free agency and bringing in a guy like Kyler Murray?
You asking me?
I'm asking you, girl.
Shay, at this point, the Steelers don't seem as though, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't seem as though they want to think about the future.
Yeah.
Like next season and the season after that. Because last year I thought they had an opportunity to sort of figure out what is going to be 4 years down the line, who's going to be our guy. And then they went the Aaron Rodgers route, which, okay. He won them games that just by virtue of from his neck up, just by being Aaron Rodgers, he won them a lot of games. However, this is a team that seems to always want to do Band-Aid moves when it comes to the quarterback. And the fact that they literally are waiting, I don't know what is happening, where they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, except there hasn't been a contract offer. And Aaron Rodgers sounds like he wants to come back, and he's called himself a free agent, but he hasn't said he's definitely playing in 2026. They need each other. Because we saw last year what the team was able to do, being in that locker room several times last year. This locker room loves Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't think a Kyler Murray. I think that kind of confuses things.
I feel as though Kyler Murray would be a better answer for what you just said. They haven't made moves that bring the future into it. They could have drafted Jackson Dart last year and still brought Aaron Rodgers back and had him a part of the team and had a rookie quarterback in waiting to be able to develop and let him now get forward. They didn't do that. So now you're in the same situation you were in last year. And this isn't a knock or anything towards Aaron Rodgers. I just feel at this point, if you bring in a guy like Kyler Murray, who's only 28 years old, a first overall draft pick, a ton of talent, somebody that's going to be hungry after being released from the Arizona Cardinals, you give yourself a chance to have a dual threat quarterback that you can try to build around, and he's not going to be expensive. He's going to be getting paid $35 million from the Arizona Cardinals, so you can get him on a deal that's cheaper for potentially a starting quarterback that you can try to see what he has. Can he get the ball to DK Metcalf? Can he make some of those same plays that we've seen splashes of in the past with Kyler Murray? Don't forget, this is a guy that's been highly productive when healthy for the Arizona Cardinals.
Interesting. Stephen A., what do you think?
The answer to this is Kyler Murray. But Aaron Rodgers is on my mind. And maybe he's on my mind because I got some stuff to deal with later on today in terms of Draymond Green talking about folks with terrible takes and no accountability and all of this stuff in the media. I'll deal with that later on my own platform and here as well, too. But let me say this. At some point in time, Kimberly, J-Mac, as a reporter, as a commentator that was a football player, are we allowed to say 1 + 1 = 2? I just want to know. Is that accountability? Are we allowed to say 1 + 1 = 2? I think we are, right? Why do I bring that up? So Aaron Rodgers comes on the Pat McAfee show, and we all know how I love the bad man that is Aaron Rodgers. We know how I feel about him. But you're on there praising Mike McCarthy. We kept in touch and acting like people are just, coming up with stuff. When it comes to whatever y'all relationship was like. Here's what we know. The last time Mike McCarthy was seen with Aaron Rodgers, he got fired in week 13 of the NFL season. Fired. We saw reports that the quarterback at the time, which was Aaron Rodgers, was accusing him of being a bit archaic. And in the immediate aftermath of that, y'all, Kimberly, correct me if I'm wrong, 2019, 2020, 2021. The Green Bay Packers went 13-3 each season after he departed. Mm-hmm. So why would it be wrong for us to say, we ain't trying to hear about that marriage again? When you got divorced, look at the success you had. And whatever Mike McCarthy was then, it can't possibly be better now. Ain't nobody thinking that. So I respect the hell where Aaron Rodgers is coming from. But the fact that Mike McCarthy is there, let him coach Kyler Murray. Let him coach Will Howard. Because it's fair for us to deduce that if it didn't work out with y'all in the end when you were in your mid-30s, why should we believe it's going to work out with y'all when you're approaching 43 years of age in December?
Maybe you've grown.
Is that fair?
That is fair, but my counter to that would be maybe you've grown, you've matured, you've learned things at your various
Some married people.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers has gotten older.
Right.
He's got older now.
True.
So he's not the same player is what I'm saying. It's not like you inheriting him again in his mid-30s. I got that part. But the point is that he's aged, and he's not what he used to be. So when he was in his prime and it wasn't working out with y'all, how's it going to work while he approaching 43 years of age? Is that not a fair question to ask?
It is fair, but we got to leave this here because we have some major breaking.
NFL, this was a surprise. The Chiefs traded all-pro corner Trent McDuffie to the Rams for a host of draft picks, including a late first-rounder. The impact on the Rams was immediate. DraftKings immediately made them the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. So that's what Vegas thought of this. They thought it made the Rams the best team. I look at it, and I've got a corner sitting right here. I look at it and I say, why would the Chiefs trade away one of their absolute best players?
Yeah, Trent McDuffie is a dog. He can play inside, outside. He can do everything on that defensive side of the ball. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, in a situation they're in where your star quarterback is coming off of an injury, you have a lot of players that deserve money. There's 3 guys in the secondary, including Trent McDuffie, that were due a payday. The other 2 being free agents. I think they felt like this is the perfect time to pivot and start to think about what the future is going to look like in Kansas City. So trading away McDuffie to a contender like the Rams, who get another step closer to a Super Bowl, the Chiefs, to me, this is hitting a mini reset or a renovation within the home while you're still trying to build, and possibly in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll be back talking about them as a contender.
To your point, Greeny, about Trent McDuffie, talking to people in LA, the excitement about getting him, palpable. One Ram source said, Trent is the real deal. Mm-hmm. And that's why he commanded the haul that he did. But this helps the Chiefs. It's almost like they have to take a step backwards to kind of leap forward. You've got a quarterback, the best in the game, who's coming off a serious injury. We don't know when we'll see him on the field. How will he look? We've got Travis Kelce in the mix. This is a team that has a lot of holes, and it needs to address, whether it be the offensive line, running back. They're going to be able to address it in the draft and free agency, but now they have some pieces to do so.
Yeah, and so they don't, look, they're not rebuilding, they're retooling, or whatever the word is for it. What should be their priority here, Harry? What's the most important thing the Chiefs need to do to get Patrick back to the Super Bowl?
Protecting Patrick Mahomes' offensive line. This is a guy that's coming off an ACL injury, so I think the most important thing to do is to make sure that your franchise quarterback is protected at all costs. Mm-hmm. I get it, the Jeremiah Love factor of things, of him being there at number 9, or the potential of them trading up to go get Jeremiah Love. No, you don't sell the farm to go get a player at the running back position when your quarterback is coming off an ACL, and he needs to be protected. That's the most important thing in this whole equation for me.
Yeah, there are 2 offensive tackles I think we'll see in the top 10. CeCe Mauigoa from Miami, Monroe Freeling from Georgia. Mellon Field are projecting in this mock that we'll have coming out today on First Draft that they take